Are you always tired of asking to repeat yourself when you're on the telephone? In this video, I am going to teach you communication skill building exercises that will help you to speak with clarity and help you to close more sales on the telephone. My name is JAYNE Latz, also known as the Communication Trainer, and we work with organizations and individuals just like you that want to develop clear, concise, and confident communication so you can present for success and close more sales. And if you watch this video till the end, I have a special gift just for you. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that this is my second video about how to close more sales on the telephone with strong communication skills. If you missed my first video, then I want you to grab it here because I'd like you to first practice those exercises and build on those communication skills with what you're going to learn in this video. Are you ready to get started with your very first tip on how to close more sales on the telephone by communicating more effectively? Sounds easy, right? So tip number one is remember to use precise pronunciation by finishing your words, especially when it comes to numbers. Think about 5, 6, 7, 8. Very often, people, whether you speak English, your first language, or your second, or your third, they just tend to swallow the ends of their words. Well, imagine if someone doesn't hear the correct price or quantity when you're dealing with sales. That could lead to not just miscommunication, but gross errors. So literally practice counting 1 to 10, and as mundane or simple as it is, think about those final sounds. 1, that final N, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know so many that V is difficult, but we need to hear it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you finish, practice 10 through 20 because 13, 14, 15, all of those final N's are often dropped. And here's where it gets sloppy and lost communication. Think about 30, 13, 40, 14, 50, 15. There are many of you out there that don't say those words clearly and they're confused. Were they ordering 30 or 13? Was it $40 or $14? It seems so simple, yet if you don't practice, that miscommunication can lead to lost sales. So exercise number 2 or tip number 2 is really in that same area. But tip number 1, I focused you on numbers, clearly pronouncing numbers. Now let's talk about common everyday words. Not only do you want to avoid miscommunication, but you always want to sound like the expert you are. You want to sound professional. So here's a few of the words I frequently hear minus the final sound. I'm not going tomorrow. I'm not going tomorrow. Let me let you hear that again. I'm not going tomorrow. I'm not going tomorrow. That simple, clear, articulate final T is important. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. In the first example, both the N and the T were dropped. I don't want to go. Practice saying what we call whole word production. I don't want to go. In both those instances, you may not be using them in your sales script, but I want you to practice because there are so many words that if you drop the final sound, there are other options. So for example, what do I mean? Talk. I talk all day long. I talk all day long. I'm tall all day long. Again, we want to finish the word, not just talk, talk, tall, tour. The vowel can be different. Finish the ends of your words. Tray. I want the tray. We sell trays. We sell trains. Do you want to trade? Different ways to end what you started. I trade all day long. I'm giving you fast examples, but there are so many words that differ just in that last sound. If you drop that sound completely, your listener needs to play back what you just said. And when they're playing it back, what are you doing? You're still talking. What are the features and benefits that you're selling? You might have just been discussing them and your listener missed the features and benefits. This is such a simple exercise. You can take a written article, underline final sounds, practice saying them out loud. It'll take time. You may not feel comfortable, but with practice will come the clarity. And if you're ready, I'm going to share my third pronunciation tip to help you close more sales. People frequently drop an entire syllable in a word. You might say, I would never do that. But think of the word governor. How many syllables are in that word? If you said 3, you are correct. Governor. But so many people say governor. Governor. What about the word probably? Often you hear probably, but there are 3 syllables. Every industry has verbiage specific to that industry. And if you swallow an entire syllable, your listener may misunderstand. And not everybody says, can you repeat that? Or maybe you repeated it and still said it incorrectly, and they're not going to ask you again. Words that have greater than 2 syllables need to be practiced and think about the syllables. Telephone, 3 syllables. Merchandise, 3 syllables. Write down the words that you use in your script every day and practice saying them to be sure you are clear, articulate, and you are pronouncing all key words with clarity. So we've got those 3 great practice exercises for you in this very short video. And now I do want to remind you that I have a free gift for you. 16 tips to excel on the telephone. So go into the description box and grab the link so you can continue to practice what it takes to close more sales on the telephone. When you grab that important PDF white page from us, you will be asked to give us your email and name. But don't worry, you can grab it and then unsubscribe if you don't find value in what we're sharing. Sometimes you can learn from the videos, sometimes from our blogs and our newsletters. But again, if that's not for you, simply unsubscribe. And one more important point before I say goodbye in this video. This is just the second video in our series on how to close more sales simply by communicating with greater impact. So stay tuned and be on the lookout for our next video. I'm JAYNE Latz, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.